Now, the power of God Otsutsuki belongs to me.
That was your real plan? To get Shibai's karma?
Karma wouldn't give me all of his power. Why then I need it? I just took his body.
Amado is a villain and he can become Otsutsuki God. Enjoy watching. Amado is a brilliant scientist who, out of love for his daughter, decided to create artificial bodies and learned how to create cyborgs. But is everything the way this character is trying to present to us? When he talked about his daughter, he said that she had an incurable disease and no one could cure her, and he himself, instead of trying to find a cure for the disease, decided to create a new body. Most likely, he understood that if he created a cure for this disease, a new disease could appear in the world and infect his daughter again. So he decided to create a new body for her. But did he want to do it just for her? I don't think so. Most likely he wanted to create the same body for himself and, in the future, live forever with his daughter. However, in the end, he realized that no matter how hard he tried, he could not come close to the power of God. And when he realized this, his daughter had already died, and he could not bring her back. But Jigen appeared, with the power of the gods, with karma that can move you to any body. However, what was most unique was that Isshiki showed Otsutsuki Shibai's body, a being who could become a god, whose genes contained incredible power, and thanks to it, Amado was able to create cyborgs. But none of the cyborgs were able to inherit all of Shibai's powers, but only one each. And the scientist again ran into the fact that man is still not able to approach the possibilities of God. So he began to study karma. He was able to study it very well and implanted his daughter's memories into Kawaki's karma to create karma for her and gave it to Delta, who is a copy of his daughter, Akiba. However, this is where the most important thing lies. It's that Amado pushed his daughter's consciousness into Kawaki, and now, instead of Ishiki's consciousness, inside him is the scientist's daughter's consciousness. This is dangerous, in my opinion. But what we're interested in is that, because of this unification, if Kawaki gives karma to Delta, then Akiba will have all of Ishiki's abilities and she will become Otsutsuki. And even if Kawaki refuses, then the scientist will simply activate his daughter's consciousness and she will take over the body of Kawaki himself. And either way, she would become an Otsutsuki. So, Amado wants his daughter to become Otsutsuki. But, for what? To live happily ever after with her. However, there is one problem here. She will be able to live for a long time, but Amado will not. This is where the whole point lies. Otsutsuki can create karma with another person's mind and put him into a new body, but we saw the scientist talk about Shibai, we saw him talk about divine power. And here, as for me, everything immediately becomes obvious. Amado is obsessed with the power of the gods and wants to get Shinjutsu for himself. Becoming Otsutsuki the way Code wants it is pointless. Absorbing chakra, planting a tree, is too long, and along the way you might be stopped. But you can create karma and place yourself where there is already limitless power, where the genes are already great. And this is the body of Shibai Otsutsuki. Amado himself said that no one defeated Shibai, he just left his body. This was confirmed by Mama Shiki with the words that Shibai is in another world and he just left his body. This means that Otsutsuki, who was able to achieve divine form, wielding many unique techniques, simply left his body, which is the most powerful in the Boruto anime, as something unnecessary. But for Amado, it is necessary. Since Shibai does not need to fold the seals with his hands, he can use any technique without this. Amado is not a shinobi and does not want to become one. He wanted to become immortal and he has the ability to become God. All it takes is for someone to make karma out of him and put him in Shibai's body. I think you will have a question. If it's possible, then why didn't Isshiki do it but walk in Jigen's crumbling vessel? I think it's because the Otsutsuki has its own rules and it could just be forbidden. Or the consciousness of one Otsutsuki cannot be unpacked in the body of another. There is confirmation of this when Mama Shiki absorbed Kanshiki. Momo was covered with the likeness of karma. This means that Kanshiki has become karma, but his consciousness didn't awaken in Mama Shiki. This might tell us why Isshiki didn't take Shibai's body for himself, because it's impossible. His consciousness simply would not have appeared in Shibai's body, and, perhaps, it would become only a part of his strength. But Amado does not need karma that will change genes. He needs karma that will simply transfer his consciousness to another body, and it's possible. Thus, Shibai will appear in the Boruto anime, or rather his body, and here there will be a confrontation with Code. Code hates Amado for his betrayal. The scientist understands that he needs power and, in any case, he will achieve what he wants. Since even Mama Shiki doesn't trust him, saying that Ida's ability to make everyone fall in love with her doesn't belong to Shibai Otsutsuki's Shinjutsu. And in the new chapter of the manga, Momo even figured out how this ability works. This means that, most likely, this technique does not work on a scientist either, but but he pretends to obey Ida, but in fact, most likely, she obeys him himself but does not even understand this. Therefore, she does not see anything bad in Amado's past. Or maybe she sees what he wants, since the scientist imposed on all created cyborgs some specific program, so I don't think he wouldn't make some protection for himself. But Amado still says that the spell technique is Shibai's power. In the new chapter of the manga, when Kawaki asked if Akiba would become Otsutsuki, the scientist said he doesn't know, and he pretended to be very upset. And then, Ida changed the subject, saying that she needed to rest, like she really helps him. So the chances of Akiba becoming an Otsutsuki are very high, and the scientist plays a role. Therefore, as for me, the main enemy will be Amado, in the body of Shibai. And whether Kawaki wants it or not, he will be involved in this. Either he will transfer karma to Delta and the scientist's daughter will be reborn in it, or Amado will activate the consciousness of his daughter in Kawaki's body, and then she will seize control of his body. In any case, I personally think that Amado is too smart to pass up the chance to get the body of God Otsutsuki, and if he does this, no one can defeat him. He probably thinks so, and he will be able to use Shinjutsu, creating even more ingenious inventions and cyborgs. Why exactly these developments? Because, as for me, creating karma from Shibai's body is pointless, since not a single vessel in the world can withstand the divine power. The strength of someone who absorbed the fruits of the chakra so much that his soul and consciousness moved to another world, since his strength no longer had a place in this world. Who can become a vessel for Shibai? I believe that no body will survive. Even if Amado tried to create a new body, strengthen it with science, it still wouldn't be able to withstand the power of Otsutsuki. With the daughter of a scientist, everything is much simpler. He created her own body, just strengthened it, and the power of Isshiki will be transferred to her, but with her own consciousness. In any case, Shibai's karma is pointless to do. Therefore, I think it makes sense to move Amado himself into his body, because we know that unpacked genes in a vessel can use the power of the previous owner. Mama Shiki could easily use Rasengan, since Boruto can do it. This means that Amado, after his genes are unpacked in Shibai's body, will unite with these genes and receive all their power. Receive God's body, and I think it's brilliant. And the authors seem to be hinting at this, because Amado tells us that he is too weak, he will not withstand even light blows. His body is too fragile. We are told about his body. Usually, this is only emphasized when something is about to happen. And, if we were mentioned about the body of Shibai, then, as for me, everything is obvious. An immortal body with the ability to omniscience, repel any attacks, move in space, with a bunch of different jutsu, and, apparently, even Ishiki's eye belonged to Shibai. And his new confrontation with Code must also happen. Either way, Amado is a villain. He has some plan. That Kawaki would show up in Konoha was his plan. Also, for Naruto and Sasuke to defeat Isshiki. After Isshiki was defeated, Amado could easily restore Kawaki's karma, which he would implant with Akiba's consciousness. And with that, his plan is almost complete. The only thing left is to return his daughter, who will help him become God. And then, he will continue to study what he wanted, and, as he said, he will live peacefully with his daughter. But will he live peacefully with Shibai's power? Based on all this, I'm sure Boruto won't be able to go it alone against Amado, who will become Shibai, against Code, who plans to become God, and, perhaps, some other cyborgs with the power of Shibai, who will be shown to us. Therefore, there must be ways in which Naruto and Sasuke become stronger. It is even possible that old characters will appear in the anime. This will allow Boruto to make friends with Mama Shiki, who will be dissatisfied with the fact that a human has acquired the body of God Otsutsuki. I am sure that everything will be revealed in a similar development of the plot, since Amado 100% wants to get the power of Shibai. And as for me, the best option would be to transplant the consciousness of a scientist into Shibai's body. Write in the comments what you think about all this. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck to all.